just a concerned citizen. Do you have a question?
Yeah, man. First and foremost, I just want to say, Hernando, thank you, brother, for all the dedication and work you're putting into going out and documenting all of this, just shedding a light on what's going on. My question to you is, and I agree with you 100%, this is DNR, and this is Cloward Piven on steroids just in time for 2024. My question is, have you seen any evidence some of these migrants receiving up to $5,000 of ATM cards? And my second question would be going back to what you said earlier about the DNA test. So that was a little clip from yesterday's space call that I was able to jump on for a little bit and talk to Hernando, who is a citizen journalist down with boots on the ground at the southern border, reporting and shedding a light where the mainstream media will not. And he made some excellent points in that space call that I want to go over in today's video. And I also have some good news. I was able to reach out and get in touch with him, and he has agreed to come on to do a live stream and answer maybe some of you guys' questions coming up. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you have the bell notification on. And then before I let you go, we're going to talk about some of the NGOs that are facilitating this migrant crisis, and also about the live stream tonight. We're going to talk about a different kind of alien, not the illegal ones, but the ones from up there.
We talked about the tens of thousands, it's actually 420,000 unaccompanied migrant children who have come across the border under your watch. We talked about the reports of the number of these children who have been lost, who have been sold into labor trafficking, into sex trafficking. Since your last appearance, the numbers have grown worse. It now approaches 100,000 children, according to public reports, 100,000 children lost by your department and the Biden administration, migrant children sold into labor trafficking and sex trafficking. Now, your Department of Homeland Security Investigations has the authority to do child exploitation investigations. How many of these kids have you gotten back?
Senator, we actually have prioritized the rescue of children who have been human trafficked. Our role.
But how many of the children, nearly 100,000 children in the New York, you've read the New York Times reports, I assume, Mr. Secretary.
I have read many reports, Senator Hawley.
But do you know what I'm talking about with the number of children who have been sent to operate heavy machinery, who are not being paid, who are not going to school, who are being denied food, migrant children unaccompanied, who are now in the clutches of labor traffickers? You're familiar with this, right?
That is precisely why I revised our worksite enforcement.
Good. How many of the kids have you gotten back then? 85,000 or more now. Lost contact with. It's been months since you were last here. How many of those children have you rescued?
Senator,
Can you give me a number?
You are conflating issues.
So you can't give me a number. You haven't rescued any of these children. You haven't gotten any of them back.
All right, so before we go any further, I want to make sure we give some proper shout-outs here to a couple different X accounts, and that would be Hernando Arce, Ben Burquam, and Just Jeff from Cali. 3 accounts that I suggest, if you have the time, go over, give them a follow, show them your support, repost their videos. These guys are down doing the grunt work that no one else wants to do, and the stories that mainstream media is not covering. Now, one in particular that Hernando was focused in on during that space call, he was talking about the NGOs, but also he was talking about the familial DNA tests, the swabbing that they're doing down at the border to make sure some of these kids are not trafficked. As we just saw in that last little clip, when Mayorkas was brought in front of Congress, which again, a lot of this is just a dog and pony show. He's not answering any questions, of course, but at least he's being brought up there. And at some point, these guys will have to answer for their crimes. Fernando was down there digging around, trying to see if they were giving proper testing, because he had heard rumors, just like I had heard the other day about the $5,000 gift cards that was on Fox News. But in this clip that he has that was on Twitter, this woman says she had to wait 5 days for the testing to come back. So hopefully some of this is starting to change because of this pressure and because these citizen journalists are shedding a light on it.
5 days. So I just asked her if they did a swab test, because contrary to what everyone's saying too, it might be from different regions, but there are regions where they don't do the swab test to confirm that these are their children. She's saying that they are doing the swab test and that this is her children. Gracias, señora. Dios te bendiga. So you go, guys. Contrary, and this is not the first time I've heard that. I've met several women, and I don't think they're lying. They are saying that they're doing a swab test to make sure that those kids are hers. So there you have it. There may be different sectors along the border that stopped it. apparently over here where I'm located by Eagle Pass they're still doing the swab test, man. Hernando Arce, citizen journalist, San Antonio, Texas. Forgotten country. Forgotten country.
And I gotta say, after all the stories that we've done this year, it's kind of nice, especially around this time, heading into the holidays, to see that maybe, hopefully, there is some good change coming out of all this pressure that these guys are putting on the politicians. But we can't say the same when it comes to what's going to go on with the economy. And for that story, we will turn to mainstream media just for a minute, because this story was picked up yesterday by Fox. And this should tell you everything you need to know about the Cloward Piven strategy and how this is being used against U.S. citizens. Watch.
Take a live look at our Fox News drone over in Eagle Pass. They have had another mass illegal crossing out there. You can see hundreds upon hundreds of illegal immigrants waiting for processing there. You might be able to see a bridge off in the background. That is where the trains come in. Well, CBP has announced they are suspending railway operations to move CBP officers down into the field to help Border Patrol with processing. In other words, Harris, they're shutting down international commerce in order to help speed up processing of these migrants. Many of them, again, will be released. And back out here live, December is traditionally one of the slowest months at our southern border, but the Border Patrol Union tells us right now their numbers show they are on track to potentially have the highest single month of arrests they have ever had at our southern border.
So again, this is another example of the systems of the United States coming under immense pressure, like the Cloward Piven strategy talks about, not just the education and the welfare and Social Security, but also the economic commodities. Everything that goes on in this country will be affected by this lawless and irrational policy that both the Democrats and Republicans are pressing for right now. No one in Congress is doing anything about it. You guys remember in the video just the other day, we talked about Dick Durbin's speech that he gave down the Senate floor about possibly bringing these gentlemen into the military.
The presiding officer, my colleague from the state of Illinois, has legislation which addresses one aspect of that. Her bill, and I hope I describe it accurately, says that if you're an undocumented person in this country and you can pass the physical and the required test, background test, the like, you can serve in our military, and if you do it honorably, we will make you citizens of the United States. Do we need that? Do you know what the recruiting numbers are at the Army and the Navy and the Air Force?
This next clip we're about to watch was taken, I believe, just yesterday by Jeff from Cali over on his Twitter account. Go give him a follow, show him some love. This is what these gentlemen had to say about what their plans are once they get into the United States. Watch.
Yeah, what?
What, when you get to New York, you do for work? What do?
Work, U.S. military.
Are you gonna go to the military?
Marines.
Military. So you're gonna go to the Marines?
Yeah, military. My
Okay.
work favorite.
Can you make? It's very difficult. Is okay? Are you strong?
Yeah.
You're very strong.
Yeah.
The Marines are very tough.
Marines are maintained.
I don't know what it means,
But whatever you do, don't listen to us, because we're just a bunch of conspiracy theorists. All right, I do want to get into the NGOs and some of the other things that we talked about in the intro, but we are running out of time. I got to get ready for tonight's live stream. So let's save that conversation for when we have Hernando on. I'm going to reach out to Jeff from Cali and Ben as well to see if maybe we could do a collab or if they want to come on separately. But yeah, try to show those guys some love in any way that you can. All right, now for tonight's live stream, we're going to be talking about the other type of aliens that we're dealing with. And this kind of ties into everything with the government and illegal trafficking that's going on, the missing children. This is the testimony from Michael Herrera, who went in front of Congress. He sat down with Sean Ryan on his podcast. And we're going to look a little deeper into this story and try and figure out what is going on here tonight.
But he works in some of these projects that are some very controversial facilities. He's aware of what was going on. After I gave my presentation of this, he confirmed, he says, no, he's like, I don't want to leave Michael hanging out there, but I was not expecting to come and talk to you about this. And he went explaining what the operations do, why they do it, and what they were using them for. And he says, there's not drugs that they're putting in these shipping containers. He says it's humans.
Human trafficking.
Yes. his own words. But it was very disheartening to actually get that information relayed to me, because here I'm thinking for years it's drugs and it's a much sinister thing. But it makes sense because they use natural disasters that people are going to be missing anyway.
Yeah,
Scoop up people.
I mean, I've been covering human trafficking this year.
Right.
And
So those are some of the claims that have been made. We're going to go into this topic deeper tonight, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have your notifications on. If you happen to make it this far in the video, if you remember to hit the like button on your way out, that would be awesome. If you want to drop a comment down below, let me know what you think about the Cloward Piven strategy. Is this what we have to look forward to? And as always, thank you for all the likes, the views, the comments, my new subscribers, my OGs. I appreciate each and every one of you. We are here to break the wheel. This is Ape Nation. I'm the Massalorian, and I'm out.